Hey, and welcome back to the Dreamweaver crash course. And in this video lesson, we are going to be covering CSS formatting. But first, I wanted to touch a little bit on image hotspots. Basically, an image hotspot is a section of an image that is clickable and usually links to a different page or a different website. Um, the big thing about it is that you can take one image, like say a map of the United States, and make every single state link to a different page or a different place. You can also add behaviors that say, a bell will ring when you click on California, or something like that. But usually, more than likely, it'll be a link or something that you'll come across. To create a hotspot, all you need to do, and this is our UFO news page, as you can tell, that we created in our last video. And to do that, all you need to do is click your image and go down to the hotspot tools. Once you click your image, they'll show up in the property inspector down at the lower left side. And it's these three buttons here: the rectangle tool, the circle tool, and the hotspot tool. Or, I'm sorry, the polygon tool. So let's say using the polygon tool to click around this flying saucer, ignore that. As you see the little blue area coming up, and that's basically it. And that's my hotspot that I have now, and this is what I can use to have a link. And so to make it a link, you click the hotspot, and down at the property inspector you have link, and it's basically like the other links that we made from, like, say, the Google image. When we created the Google button, we created a link to Google with that button. And you say we want this one to go to, say, Yahoo. We can just type that in. And now, when a visitor clicks this saucer, it'll automatically go to Yahoo. And it's basically that easy. Just to use another tool, let's say the rectangle tool, it's a little different. You don't click around, you just click and drag and create your rectangle, or square, or whatever. And it's basically the same thing. Here I wanted this one actually to be around the saucer and the little transporter beam. To do that, I need to move it. And to move it, you click the selector tool, and then you just grab it and you can move it around. So if you put it in the wrong spot, or you just wanted to move it to a different place, you can do so just by grabbing it and moving it. And now that I have it on the correct spot, I'm going to go ahead and link this one to our home page. And that's basically it. And if I wanted, I can go through and maybe make a fence post to go to, like, Alabama or somewhere, just somewhere random, random Alabama's homepage or something, or anywhere. It doesn't really matter. And that's the big thing about hotspots. Now that I went over that quickly, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the CSS formatting. And I'm going to save this page so we don't lose that. And we're going to create a new page, just a new blank page. And what we're going to do is create a page where there's an image and then an article, or a fake article. And the article text is going to wrap around the image, like you see when you read, like, a magazine, or some web page articles, things like that. First we need an image, and I have one image in our project folder, the UFO crash. Yes. Okay. Looks like I already added it. And then I'm going to add some text. Now, to add text, I want to fill up the page, and so I'm going to go to lipsum.com and get some filler text. And you can do that, or you can just type gibberish, whatever is best for you. And it'll ask you how many paragraphs. I selected 5, and then I just copy and paste. And as you can see, first, there's this little dotted line here. This is letting me know that Dreamweaver created a section for this image from Lipsum. And I'm going down to the tag selector, and you can see it here. I don't want that tag around my text, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And all you to do that is easy. Just right click and remove tag. If you don't have that, don't worry about it. But if you do, you can just remove it. We don't need it. But as you can see, our cursor was right next to the image. And Dreamweaver, when we added the text, it's still added below. And that's not what we wanted. We wanted the text to sort of be right next to the image and kind of wrap around it, like an article. And to do that, we need to make rules to let Dreamweaver know that's how we want this page formatted. And we're going to add a few other rules because we want this page to look more like our first page, and any other page that we would create after this, we want them all to have the same look and the same feel, so that the website feels more connected and more together. And to do that, we're going to create a CSS rule, CSS style. And to do that, you go to Format, CSS Styles, and New. And type selector, we're going to keep it as class, and that's because you can apply a class to any section of your page and as many sections as you want. So as many sections as you want to apply this to, it's available to do so. So we're going to keep it that way, and we're going to name this, we're going to call it main rule, just to something easy to remember. And down here at the bottom it says rule definition, and you can make it for this document only or a new style sheet file. Now for this document only, basically it is what it says. Everything I make, every change in every formatting selection I make here, it'll apply just to this page. And if I go to a new page and I want to use this look, I would create it again and again and again. So I'm not going to use this document only. I'm going to create a new style sheet file. And what that'll do is that'll give me a separate document for this rule, and it'll allow me to use this rule and these styles that I add to this rule over and over and over again. So it makes it really easy, and that's a big thing with CSS. You have these external sheets, and you can just apply them to every page. You create a page, you apply it, and the formatting is already done. You don't have to redo it every time. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. It asks me where do I want to save it. And I'm going to create a new folder within the UFO lookout. And I'm going to call it CSS, and that way I'll know where all of my pages are, all of my sheets. And open that. And we're going to save it here, and we're just going to call it main. Just so we'll know this will be our main formatting rule. Save. Okay, and now it's asking us what rules do we want to add. What styles do we want to add to this rule? And the first thing I want to do is I want to change the font size. So I'm going to change it to, let's say, 18 pixels. So all of our text will change to that size automatically. And let's say instead of being black, I'm going to change it to orange. And let's see. I like this one. C60. Hex C60 is what I'm using. And let's see. I want to change the background color to the green that we used on our regular home page. And so you just go to background. It says background color, and it was 090, I believe. No, I'm sorry. It was 060. And so we're going to go ahead and select that. We're going to apply. We're going to click OK. And now, if you look to the right, in the CSS Styles panel, you'll see all rules, and you'll see our sheet, which is called main.css, and the main rule, and it is selected, and these are all the properties of that rule. Our background color, text color, font size. We can add another property by clicking here, or clicking edit, and that box will pop back up. We can create a new rule, either to add to this file or to another file, or just file or to this document. But for now, this is going to be fine. Now, to apply it to this page, what we're going to do is click on the page, and we want this to affect the entire page. So we want this to go to the entire body of the page. You go into the tag selector, click body, everything is selected, and right here where it says class, none, we're going to go ahead and look for our rule. There it is, main rule. Click that, boom. There you go. We have it orange and green. We have a green background and orange text, and it looks pretty cool. Now, we still didn't get our main objective done, which is to wrap the text around the image. And to do that, what we're going to do is create a new rule. Click the plus here, and it's selected as class, and image wrap is what I'm going to call it, so I'll remember. Click OK. And you have your categories here, and we went over type, which affected mostly the text on a page, then the background, which is self-explanatory. You have your block, word spacing, and basically how the images appear, the text appears on the page. And what we're going to use is the box category. And this option float is what we need to change. To the left or right is how we want the image to float. And it basically is what it says. The image floats within the page. So the text will be where it is, and the image will kind of just float in that. We're going to have it float to the right, and we're going to give it some padding. And padding basically gives it some space outside the image so that the other content on the page, like say text, won't run right into the image, and it just makes it look cleaner. So we're going to give it 10 pixels of padding. We're going to apply it. We're going to click OK. And now, if you look to the right, we have a new style. We have our main rule, and those are the properties of that rule. And then we have our image wrap rule, and there's 2 properties for that. Now, we're going to apply this to our image. To do that, we're going to go and click on the image. You can see that the image tag is selected here. I'm going to change the class from main rule to wrap. And as soon as we did that, those properties applied to that image, and it jumped right over to the right. It floated to the right. You can see the padding around it. The text just kind of goes around the outside. And now it looks pretty cool. It looks like an article. You know, you have your text, you have your image set to the right. And that's basically it. I'm going to call this page UFO crash. Give it a title, and then we're going to save it. And the document will be the same thing, UFO crash. Or just call it UFO article, so I'll know what it's for. So we'll call it UFO article. We're going to save it. Now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and apply that sheet, that main CSS file, to the UFO news page. Now you remember the home page had formatting for color and text for color. And this page doesn't. It's just white and black. And so this is where CSS is so cool. To format this page, all I need to do is add that style. So I'm going to go ahead and click the body tag. I'm going to go down to class, and as you can see, that file isn't attached to this document at all. So those rules aren't here. So you go down to attach style sheet, browse for your image. Lookout, and we created a folder for it, and there it is. We're going to go ahead and click it. Okay. And now when we go down to class, there you go. Look at that. Our rules are there. We're going to click main rule to apply it to the body. Make sure our tag is selected. Boom. And look at that. Just like that, all of our formatting from the other page is here. And that's the beauty of saving your CSS formatting to an external file. You can just attach it to a new page, and just like that, it's all changed. We didn't have to go through and individually change all the rules and all the properties and everything. And it's just that easy. And that'll be it for today. In our next lesson, we'll get into form creation, and that'll be pretty fun. So thanks, and don't forget to subscribe.